What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? Here we are on this, the 10th day of June, and man, I'm telling you guys, if I'm ever in a sticky situation with Bitcoin where I feel like the price is going one way and I see XRP saying that it's going to go another way, XRP tells the truth, right? Yesterday I was saying it, right? Something weird's going to happen because I just didn't see XRP going lower, right? But it's hard to not see XRP going lower if Bitcoin's going to drop 9%. And I mean, we made sense out of it. Maybe you could drop down just above $2. Like it's possible we made sense out of it, but I was like, something's got to be. I got to be wrong about something, and I was wrong about Bitcoin. I feel like that's happened a few times throughout this range. XRP. Maybe XRP's the key to the markets, you guys. I don't know. Hit that like button if you think it is. We're at $2.31 now, 21 hours, 20 minutes left in this day here. Let's zoom in on the 1 hour time frame and just see what we're doing. We're on the Coinbase chart. We'll use the crypto chart later, the all-time history chart in a second. But looking at this, moving up with added volume, good, looking good. Yes, this move here had a little bit less volume, so you probably move down a little bit. Yeah, there's some bearish divergence. Okay, so 1 hour time frame, you probably do pull back to this area. Maybe even this area, dare I say. Something around 228, 229, prior areas of resistance and support, prior resistance here, prior resistance there. It makes sense. That's probably where you'll go. I want to see on a relative fib where that would be actually. Hold on, let me put these back on here. We'll get this from a high to a low. Yeah, you went right up to the 1414. Just wicked above it. That's very common to wick right above the 1414 and close below it. Going down to the 886, 786 area is what you would typically expect. So 228 to 229, yeah, that's what we're looking for today probably. Over the coming hours, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happened. Opening up the day and then you close the day moving higher. You'll probably have a higher low coming in here, and then boom, you'll be moving higher, right? I feel like that there's a lot of noise on the chart right now, but if I take away all that noise, you can kind of see, reduce the noise, and what we can deduce is just more higher lows inside of this uptrend, right? And maybe even a higher low. By the way, I have it drawn that doesn't even interact with this trend line. And that's actually more bullish whenever you reach for a trend line but don't. That's like parabolic behavior. Not that I'm saying this is parabolic behavior right now, but if you have a trend line here and you find support on it and you come down and you don't find support on it and then you move up, right? Now you have another trend line here, right? And you come down and you don't find support on that. Now you have another trend line here. And then you come down and you don't find support on that. You see how it's getting parabolic as it goes? That's like parabolic behavior. You see what I'm saying? So not saying that's what's happening here. It's not always parabolic behavior, but it's bullish. Really, is what it is. It's a bullish thing. Definitely bullish. Looking at the RSI, absolutely, you're bullish. Looking at the RSI, lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price. You're getting lower highs here, but it's not too dramatic. A little bit of a pullback, never hurt anybody. Some turbulence, sure. You're at prior areas of support right here, so you're going to find resistance, of course. Prior areas of resistance. It makes sense. You did break through this zone here. You had your little like W, broke through, consolidate a little bit as it normally does, and then you'll probably continue to rip up higher here. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the week, you guys, XRP was, we'll see. I don't want to jinx it, but maybe like 250 or higher, 260 or higher. Maybe we're reaching for $3 by the end of this week, you guys. When XRP gets moving, it moves really fast, and I feel like people are definitely throwing, now that XRP has been chilling since December. Nobody had the balls. Nobody had the balls to talk smack about it. Some people got comfortable here. People are starting to come out of the woodworks, and they have that they're throwing shade at it again. They're starting to fade XRP, and when that happens, it's normally time for this thing to get going and rocking and rolling. Okay, looking at the 4 hour time frame again, that bearish divergence is presented here, even on the 4 hour time frame with the same high. So I wouldn't expect that we go too much lower than 28 cents. Maybe we do. Let's just see, actually. Could we go below 28 cents low to high? If maybe we go to 26 cents. I'm sorry. $2.26. My bad. $2.26. Maybe that's what we do instead. I doubt we go all the way back to 222. But even if we do, that's still going to be an area of support, and we'll continue to grow from there. But I think 226 actually might be where we go. Just because it's common not to go where the divergence started, but through it, right? So I actually would think that we go to 226. 226, 229, somewhere in that area there, right? We're at 231 now, so who cares? It's not that big of a deal. Overall, the 4 hour does look bullish. overbought, oversold, little volatility, but overbought, not getting oversold, finding support, living above the 50, transitioning, right? You transitioned out of your downtrend. Now you're just, you're not even in an uptrend, man. You're just up here, living life, being fine, like you did for a lot over here whenever you were growing. If we're looking at this on a daily time frame, we'll probably phase out to the crypto chart in a second here. My expectation would be based off of this fib from a high to a low, that when we interact, okay, from a high all the way down here to a low, this was the first interaction right here with the golden ratio, okay, right there. So being that this was our first interaction with the golden ratio, and we found support at the 382, the expectation would be to find resistance at the 786, 886. We will not stop at the golden ratio. So I think $2.90 to $3.12, maybe by the end of this week, right? This week just started. We got 5 days, 22 hours left. XRP, when it moves fast, when it moves, it likes to move fast. And I really wouldn't be surprised at all if it wasn't by the end of this week that we were at $2.90 to $3.12. If not, sometime next week. But it's happening soon. And then what happens here, right? I remember we were talking about it back here, right? This was the expectation back here. What happens whenever we're up here? If we're looking at XRP on the crypto chart, which is the all-time history chart, high to low, right? Again, let me just explain my thoughts here. Okay? We don't know what's going to happen, but I just want to explain my thoughts. Maximum despair, maximum epitome of a joke. Nobody wanted you, or not nobody. The XRP community, you guys are diehard fans, but nobody believed in this coin. Most people in crypto were laughing at it, calling it a dead coin. Anyone who invested in XRP is dumb. All the stuff, all the fade, throwing it at you, right? All the shade. Breaks out up here. Nobody talks smack about it for months, right? Now they're starting to talk smack about it again, right? Now there's some disbelief. Now there's some concerns. Now there's some, it's, who cares? It's just XRP. It's not going to outperform the rest of the markets. What happens whenever you're up at the 786, 886 area? The next area that you're probably going to move to before you consolidate a little bit and then you continue to move higher. What happens there? Likely, right? Right here, it's easy to have despair. It's easy to guess and second guess and question XRP. But when you're here, the only thing, I don't care if you're a hater, you have to be straight delusional if when XRP is here, if you're not thinking about new all-time highs, okay? You have to be straight delusional if you're thinking that we're going to get a double top or we're going to reject and go down to zero. You've got to be delusional and just have a vendetta against XRP for whatever reason. Because here, right now, whoops, I'm assuming the general perspective of the market is, who cares? It's being boring. But right here, the perspective, the perception of XRP is going to shift. Everybody's going to be paying attention because you're about to break out to new all-time highs. You're the fourth best crypto, top crypto by market cap. Really, you're like number 3 if you took out USDT, which really I think it should be not considered in the rankings personally, but it's good to know the market cap. I think CoinMarketCap should put stable coins in their own section personally, and they do have that, but I don't know if that's just my opinion. I'm not a hater of stable coins. It's like US dollars. We don't count US dollars in the crypto market cap. It's just digital US dollars. It's nice to know which stable coins have more market cap and higher rankings and stuff, I suppose, but anyways, I digress. All I'm trying to say is when it's here, people all across the space are going to look at it differently than they are now, okay? And whenever you get up there, everybody's going to see the same thing that anybody in the XRP community sees, any analyst like myself sees, which is that when XRP moves higher, when we break out to new all-time highs, we are breaking out of price areas that we're seeing price exploration for the first time since 2018, right? This was exciting. I'm very curious and very eager to see what happens here, right? I can't believe how many people think, and I get it, right? It seems crazy. $2.30, XRP, what do we got here? What's the market cap right now? $136 billion, essentially. I get it. It's a near, like it's going to be a multi-$100 billion market cap. It's already over $100 billion right now. I get it. It's hard to imagine something at $2.30 with that kind of a market cap moving all the way up here, right? Seeing another replicated move. This was just a one-off. We're not going to do that again, right? I'm sure you guys have heard that before, right? I'm sure we've all heard that before for XRP. But it's got a higher market cap now. It's different. Yeah, but it's no SEC lawsuit now. Now it's got more validation than it's ever had before. Now it's a crypto reserve in the United States crypto stockpile, right? Like what? Higher market cap can go right the hell out the window, man. You think that something like this is going to break out of new all-time highs? It's going to break out of this area that it's been in since 2018, and we're going to get a move like this? We're going to stop at $6. That's what's going to happen? All right. You think I'm crazy. I don't know, man. You guys, whoever you are that disbelieve that, I'm not saying you guys as in the XRP community, but there's some people that just genuinely, they'll laugh at that. They'll think that the idea of going anywhere above $4 or $6 is crazy. I think it's crazy to consider that we spent all this time below this high to finally get above it, and we stop here. That doesn't make sense, man. And the reason why I'm saying $6 or lower is because that's what I tend to see. Most people say they don't think it'll get above 4. They don't think it'll go above 6. We're going to stop at 550, whatever. I don't know where these hacks are getting their predictions from, but the minimum expectation, just based off the fibs alone, would be $8.37. And we're not stopping there. I don't want to do this. I do this all the time, but we're going to do it anyways, right? We'll try to make it quick. XRP to BTC, just to validate, right? Just to butter the bread for the XRP community here, right? XRP to BTC. You look at this thing, same context, right? You've been withheld, you've been held down by this area of resistance basically since 2019. You've been under this area consolidating, accumulating, whatever, for years. When you break out, are you just going to stop right there? When this thing moves up, like does it just make little moves up? Am I crazy? No. It's not going to just make a little move up. Where's the next area? If it stopped here at all these areas of resistance here, where's the next area that makes sense to find resistance? Well, we know we're not going to move up just a little bit, so you can throw this area out the window. Where's the next area? At the very least, it'd be up here, right? This is XRP versus Bitcoin, right? Not versus US dollars. This is priced in Bitcoin. Come on, man. I almost had it. Hi, Rafiki. Come here, buddy. Come here, little boy. That's my cat, if you guys hear him. Right here. This is the minimum expectation. It's very possible XRP could run up even higher or even higher than that. You've been held down for years, for 6 years. You've been held down under this area, primarily. You wicked above it a little bit here and there. When you break out, I'm thinking that the only logical next area that you're going to go to is somewhere around here. Okay, that's 409. Let's take it a step further. Let's be a little bit more pessimistic. Let's put it at 408. Okay, 408. Google calculator. He's like, I just wanted love, and now I'm gone. Come on. 408. I'm being as pessimistic as I can be. Even at 409, I don't think we stop there. It makes more sense to go to 301, psychological resistance, and it's more in line with areas of resistance that you more likely see. But we'll get to that too. Also, I mean, if you take a high, yeah, that was not the high, but if you take a high to a low here, we put the high there. Come on now, high to low. The 786 is actually closer to 301, right? It doesn't make sense that you'd stop here between the 69 and the 786. It doesn't make sense that you stop here, let alone stop at 308. But I'm entertaining the crazy people, okay? 308. If XRP versus Bitcoin gets to 308 and Bitcoin's at the same price it is now, about $110,000, what price would that be? So what I'm doing here, right? We know XRP is going to grow in price. We just don't know where. We don't know how high it's going to go. Some people are crazy and they think it's going to stop at some price less than $6. They can't imagine that it gets above $10. I think you're crazy if you think it can't get above $10 by the end of July, by the end of this next move. Okay, we're going to explain why. If XRP moves up, odds are Bitcoin is also going to move up, right? By the end of July, would you agree Bitcoin's probably going to be at higher prices at the least? I think it's going to be at 170 to 180K, but maybe that's crazy to you too. Let's just agree that it's higher. We're at 110K now. Okay. So if it's going to be higher, then what we know, because again, we don't know where XRP is going to go, but what we at least know by this equation, because again, XRP to BTC, you likely don't stop at 308, you likely stop higher. You likely don't, Bitcoin's likely not going to be at this price, it's likely going to be higher. So what we know is that this price that we come up with right here is likely not going to be a stopping point for XRP. I already know the math, it's going to be $8.80, right? Yeah, right there. It's easy because it's, yeah, $8.80. We know by deduction, simple, logical, very simple deduction, that XRP will not stop at prices below $8.80. We know that. It's a fact. We don't know where it's going to go, but it's not going to stop there. If it's not going to stop there, why would it stop at 837? That's your minimum target. By the fibs, it makes sense to go there at a minimum, but by this analysis, which I trust a little bit more, it doesn't really make sense to stop there. It doesn't really make sense at all. So where's the next fib area? Oh, it's all the way up here at 1357. That's quaint, isn't it? It's almost as if we took this price here from a low to a high, you put it right here for your next move, and it's almost as if you're going to see the exact same move. It's almost as if this is a little known pattern called a bull flag, and you're going to make your move up here, right? With the 1414, I'd say it's 60% of the time, if not more, you wick above it, and then you close below it. You actually don't find resistance right at it. You find resistance in the area of it, but just above it most of the time. It's less common. I wouldn't say it's rare. It's just less common that you find resistance below the 1414. We don't know where it's going to go, but we know where it's not going to go. It's not going to stop at 880. It's going to go higher. So where's the next logical area? I can't think of anything else other than $10 even seems too low. $11 to $15 sounds about right to me. Enough said. I'm done. Hit the like button. Subscribe. If you buy here, you're not going to be upset, man. XRP, the fourth top crypto, with the prospects, the 1414 is at 1350. I've done this enough. With prospects to do a 5.8x, that's going to outperform the average coin in the markets. And we can prove that too, or at least theoretically prove it, right? I would assume that the others chart here, which represents, this is like the altcoin index, it represents the average coin, at least the top 125 coins, excluding the top 10 coins. I would expect that we see a $1 trillion market cap, psychological resistance, and maybe just go above that 1414 as well. Do you see that 1.2 just above there? That's a 4.6x. XRP is going to outperform the average coin, and guess what? It's got a market cap of $136 billion. That's why it sounds crazy to people. That's why it sounds crazy, but that's just simple lines of thought that make it sound crazy, right? That's just simple. You're not thinking deep enough. You're not doing the analysis. You're not actually considering what we're dealing with here, right? It's not just going to see $13. It's going to outperform the majority of cryptos that are in the top 125. That's what's going to happen. Just a little bit, by like an extra 100%, but that's what's going to happen. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.